Did you know that Australia has more franchising outlets per capita than any other country in the world except New Zealand? Plus, 90% of Australian franchises are homegrown success stories. And in fact, the franchise sector in Australia has been growing by leaps and bounds since the 1970s. Of course, when it comes to franchising, we often think of food or gym outlets as the first port of call. But it may surprise you to know that Australia's fastest growing franchises are in the administration and support services. Jun, this is right up your alley. Gami Chicken is open to franchise. How important to you and the growth of the business was it to franchise?
Once upon a time, I was franchisee of some other brands too. And what I have learned from those experiences is that franchisee is core to the business. So having them success is a lot more important than making good expansion sometimes. And I call that organic growth.
Because you took a long time between opening your first store and your second store. Why did that take so long?
When we opened the first store, we are actually running a restaurant. And the running a restaurant is different from running a franchise. And then because a franchise system has to make sure that our franchise model is scalable, expandable. So we took a time to make sure that we develop those systems and test it first before we sell it. Because we didn't want to have our franchisee undergoing bad experiences while they are doing franchise business with me, because eventually they are my business partners. I want them to grow successful. So we test it first before we start doing something. And then, so I was franchisee of myself. We tested it for a couple of years, and then we made sure that, okay, this restaurant under a franchise system can work, and then making good profit.
Right.
And then we started it.
So is that the secret? If somebody's interested in a franchise, they need to look behind the brand at the processes to make sure they've all been completed before taking it up.
Yeah, they have to make sure to look for the franchise system which has been tried and tested. It's easier for take the word from the brand because it looks very nice and then it looks working. But you actually have to see and do your own due diligence to research whether the market, does it provide a good business opportunity? Does it have a lot of competition in there? Or even in the competition, do they have a competitive advantage as a brand? More importantly, how do they support you? Not supporting a franchise system as a whole, but individually. Because your market is not necessary to be the same as other stores sometimes. So do they listen to you? Can you pick up the phone call to talk to the owner of the brand? How often do they come out to provide training? Are they free? Do they charge for that? All that factors is very important factors for you to consider before you choose any brand.